Good morning. It is 6:59 a.m. on Tuesday, September 18th, 2018. I knew I could do it. I'm Christiana Ellis and I just got up. This is 5 more minutes. uh yeah, still a little spacey this morning. I haven't fully woken up yet, I don't think. Mm, mm. Um Yesterday evening I spent doing a couple of things. One, which I think is very much worth mentioning. Oh, I got a little bit of drink splashy on my glasses. That's the technical term, incidentally. Drink splashy. So, yesterday I had a little bit of an object lesson in the power of routines. Not that I didn't know that intellectually, but it was just another uh, case where it was driven home to me, where I, over the course of the day yesterday, was still feeling a little bit of a lingering effect from whatever had me feeling under the weather on Sunday, but not that much, just a little bit. And I was feeling kind of just lazy in general, in the sense that when I was thinking about getting home from work, I made for myself all sorts of rationalizations for why I didn't need to do a workout yesterday. And I convinced myself. I came up with plenty of reasons that seemed plausible enough to satisfy my relatively undemanding desire for a reason not to do it. And I convinced myself, but driving home from work, the sort of animal part of my brain that gets used to routines was kind of just, I could feel myself physically expecting the exercise, which is a weird feeling, I guess. So, in any event, I decided that that's absolutely not the sort of thing I should ignore. It is, in fact, part of the whole idea of getting into a new routine and build better habits as far as exercise goes. And so I did it. I did it. Incidentally, what I decided is that I'm going to repeat the same 20 workout routine that I just completed. Um, the walk to run 1 mile, but I will be continuing to kind of try to push myself as far as pace, so that it's not just a reset to not working as hard. I did that because even though the next set of workouts on the app that I was using, it has a 5K training one that's also labeled as beginner, but I couldn't help but feel when I tried the first one of those, and it seemed like the walk to run 1 mile one ends right here, and the 5K training one starts right here, and that space was anyway. So that's what I'm doing, and I worked out yesterday, and I'm glad that I did. Although there were always, of course, moments in the middle where I'm not feeling great about it. Anyway, that's what I did yesterday. I did other things. Some prep for this Wednesday's episode of So Many Levels is going to be a special episode for reasons that I'm not going to go into yet, but I did some prep for that. And also I watched High Noon, which is the next movie on the AFI Top 100 list. It's a Western, and it's one I hadn't seen before. And I went through sort of an interesting process watching it, where for whatever reason, the way it started, I guess what I'll say is that I think it actually does start and end a little clumsily. But for like early on in it, perhaps partly because of my reaction to having it open more or less with a wedding between Gary Cooper and Grace Kelly, who had to have a 20-year difference in their ages, if not more. I'd have to look it up, but it's pretty dramatic. And it's kind of like, okay. But in any, I think so. I had a negative reaction to that, and I felt like I made up my mind that I wasn't going to like it early on in the movie, and I'm not sure 100% if it all came from that or if there was more to it. But for whatever reason, the classic Western tropes started to work on me, and I was kind of delighted when I realized that the movie plays out in more or less real time, which was kind of exciting. And the tension builds, and it turns out it's pretty good. I mean, it has some little awkward qualities to it, like I said, and it starts and ends a little bit strangely. Um, but overall, very good. If you like westerns and you haven't seen High Noon, it's a good one to watch. All right, so I'm going to leave it there for today, and I will talk to you all tomorrow for 5 more minutes.